all out for your goals. Like if you have a dream, do it. Dream big. Lashing paid my rent, my groceries, it paid for the gas in my car.
Never had the forbidden fruit. Never drank from the fountain of youth. Who would have been?
So before we get started, I first want to let you know that if you're interested in purchasing eyelash extension consent forms, then you can do so on my official website at www.lashwayboulevard.com. The direct link will also be in my description box. And you should always be lashing with consent. I actually started lashing in January of 2017 on my college campus, and I was actually doing the little bootleg lashes, like the Ardell cluster wispy lashes that you could get from CVS and Walgreens for like I think $6 or $7 or whatever. The ones that will only last for like 3 to 4 days. Yeah, those lashes. And eventually people started asking me to do it on them too, and they would actually pay me to do them. I was active in a women's organization where the women that I was in the organization with would see my lashes too, and that pretty much turned into like a mini business. So over the summertime, I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna be lashing people, you know, putting lashes on them, then I want to do it right. I want to like really learn how to do lashes and like make sure that the lashes last. So I looked into eyelash extension training courses. Now, I did my research and I did find out that you would have to be a licensed esthetician in the state of Illinois to actually legally do eyelash extensions. But I was already at a university and I had no interest whatsoever in more schooling. So I scheduled a 2-day training course instead with the lash instructor so that I could learn how to do eyelash extensions the fast way. In the summer of 2017, I took my lash course, made a website, scheduled a photo shoot, and made my whole marketing strategy all within 2 weeks after getting my certification. I was working at a golf course back then, and I just saved up all my tips and put extra money to the side to make sure that I would be able to fund everything. But there was one problem. My technique, and I'm going to be very honest, was terrible. And I'm great now, not to toot my own horn, but to toot my own horn. But in the beginning, I could not grasp that technique like how I wanted to. It took me a while to learn how to lash. I realized very quickly lashing is not as simple as it looks, and it takes time and effort to get those beautiful, gorgeous, wispy lashes. A lot of time, actually, when you're a beginner. There are people that get it right away, but unfortunately that wasn't my case. And because of that, I actually quit for about 3 weeks. But I'm not quitting. So I got my mannequin head, reread my manual, and I said I'm about to get to work. At that point, I believe I had like about a month and a half until I had to return back to school. And I wanted to really make sure I got that technique down packed so I could take my business to my school. Back then, there were no lash techs on the campus. Well, no black lash techs at least. And I really wanted to be the first female black lash tech on the campus, you know? Like, I really wanted that name for myself. So I'm like, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna practice. This is hard right now, but I'm not giving up. Plus, I paid too much money for that class because lash extension courses, they're not cheap. So yeah, I got back into the lab, practice, but there was still another problem.
The photo shoot.
My overly eager and excited self scheduled a photo shoot like within too close of a proximity after getting my certification. I don't even remember how close it was, but I know it was too close. And I still did not have that technique mastered. I couldn't reschedule the photo shoot because the photographer was booked and busy, honey. And honestly, I just didn't have the time. Like I said, I was going to be returning back to school within the next month or so, and I really needed to get everything on board. The photo shoot was specifically to have professional pictures from my website, and I for sure was not going back to school without a website. So what did I do? Your girl had to improvise. The positive in all of this was that while I was taking my lash course, I was also researching. I'm sorry.
Come on.
I was also researching lash strip lines because I wanted to start a strip lash business as well. So I had a few strips coming into me for sampling, but I only had 1 pair of strips. I had 3 models total. To myself, I'm like, Janae, you're just gonna have to have one of the models model the strip lashes, and the other 2 models are gonna have to get extensions. So you're just gonna have to keep practicing, and hopefully you'll get it by the time the photo shoot comes. So fast forward. It's the night before the photo shoot, and I'm doing 2 of the model's lashes, and honestly, my technique is still trash. It was still trash. You know, the other model, she was good and she was set because she was going to be wearing the strip lashes. But I had 2 models still that needed some bomb extensions for this photo shoot. And honestly, I couldn't deliver. Like I said, this was the night before the photo shoot. And like I said, y'all, I was practicing, and I still just could not master this technique. Now, they didn't look terrible, but they weren't to my standard, especially for a photo shoot. So what did I have to do? I had to improvise yet again. The extensions that I did, like I said, they weren't terrible, but they really didn't pop like that. So I had to change up the whole makeup look. The makeup look was actually going to be a very simple beat so that the lashes could pop, but instead I had to up it up. I said we're doing full on glam, dramatic, whatever I can do to get this photo shoot to look as like glam as possible, even if it washes out the lashes because you could barely see them anyway. So I changed their makeup look. Instead, I assigned all the models to wear a very glam look. I had them wear crystals in the inner corners of their eyes. They had like this cute smoky eye going on, and I had the highlight popping with glitter all over their bodies and stuff. Their outfits are pretty simple. I just made sure to really get their makeup to pop to hopefully make up for the lack of lash extensions. We ended up doing the photo shoot. It actually turned out to be a very great success. I was so happy. The photographer edited the pictures how I wanted them to, and he sent them over to me to upload to my website. Fast forward, we reached another issue. The website. So I'm gonna first start by saying, obviously the photo shoot, like the whole purpose of the photo shoot was to have professional pictures on my website. While everything was going on, I was always working on my website the whole time, making sure that everything was coordinated, that it looked really put together, it was professional. I was adding in all these widgets, just like really getting creative and chic with it. So the only thing I needed to add were the pictures to have a complete website. So I go in, I enter the pictures in there, do the finishing touches, everything like that. As soon as I go to publish the website, I get a fat notification saying that in order to publish the website, I would have to pay $500 for the domain and website.
$500.
I didn't have any money. Let's just be really honest. From paying for the lash course, to the photo shoot, to the outfits for my models to wear in the photo shoot, to getting their glam and everything together, I was burnt out. Like, in bills, I had no room to be paying $500 for a website, honestly. At this point, I think I was about like 3 weeks away from school starting again, and I really wanted to go back with like an official website to do it the right way and everything like that, like have this big nice launching whatever, and it just didn't work out like that. I could have got some help from family if I really wanted to, honestly, but I had funded everything by myself, and I just wanted to be so independent, and I was stubborn, and I was just like, I did it myself this far, I just want to do it myself. I really wanted to be like self-made, you know. I ended up going back to school without a website. Also, not to mention, I was even more bummed out because like a week or two after realizing I had to pay $500 for the website, I also got a text message saying that it was another girl that was starting a lash extension business on the campus as well. So my hopes and dreams of being the first female lash technician on my campus were like, literally. But that did put fire under my butt to like really come with it, because honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm competitive, and that's just how business goes. You know, when you have a competitor, you gotta up it, you gotta like come with it, and that's exactly what I did. But yes, y'all, I went to school without a website, sadly. But that didn't stop me. I said I got to get back to the drawing board now, and I once again had to improvise. In business, you're going to do a lot of improvising sometimes. I'm pretty sure a lot of college campuses have like that first week back, turn up parties, all that. Everybody is going to all the events. Everybody's popping out on campus. You know, you're just doing a little bit extra that first week back than you normally do after a few weeks into school or whatever. So I make sure to be out on the scene like literally passing out business cards, putting myself out there, going to every single event to promote my business. I actually formed a back to school lash extension special, and I made flyers for it, and I passed them out all over campus. We had this like common area in the middle of our campus called the Union, where people would go eat, socialize, or whatever, just chill in between classes. And I was all up and down there passing out my flyers, putting myself out there. It was an event going on that night. Oh, I was there promoting myself, saying I do eyelash extensions, passing out my business cards. I just put myself out there. I had to, especially since I didn't have a website. And I will say that everything that I had to go through to get my business off the ground and started on my campus really did pay off, because I was pretty well off. I was. Lashing paid my rent, it paid for my groceries, it paid for the gas in my car. It paid for my entertainment. If I wanted to like go home for the weekend whenever I wanted to, just dip off, it paid for that. I was so happy because I was working at this miserable call center job the semester before, and I hated that job so much. And I was just like, oh man, I'm about to have to go back to school and get another job if this don't work out or whatever. But lashing, it really did surprise me. And once I really saw, like, you know, the positive turnaround, I just really started going hard and ham with it. Every time we had an event at school, or anytime something big was coming up, I was having a special for it. We were having a party or whatever, I was making a special so that ladies could come get their lashes done for that party. Whatever was going on campus, even if it was like something significant to a month, I was having a special for. Any special I could think of, I was having a special for. Now, I'm not gonna get too deep into this, but you really can bite yourself in the foot doing all those back-to-back specials and everything like that, and that's something I had to learn. But on my campus, with a lot of college students that, you know, sometimes are penny pinching, it was well worth it, and it worked in my favor. So yes, eventually I was able to pay for my website, thank God. And in celebration of it, I had a website launch lash special. At that point, your girl, I just felt like I was popping. You know, I was doing lashes whenever I could. I was missing events that I would usually go to do lashes. Like, there was a union party that I wanted to go to, but I had some clients or whatever at that point in time that needed to come late after they got off work. I didn't care. I was doing their lashes and I was missing the party. Or I would do some lashes and then make the end of the party. I went into literally like businesswoman mode. My business just always came first. I didn't care. So it was like something that I had built from the ground up. Like, it was an investment for me, funded by me. And it's still, even to this day, like, it's just very close to my heart, my business. I'm always taking my business into consideration with everything. So fast forward to a year later, I left my university because I got accepted into nursing school. Yes, y'all, I was in nursing school, and that's a whole different conversation for a whole different day. But I say that to say that my nursing school actually ended up being back at home. So I left my university, like I said, and went back home, meaning I had to build a whole new clientele. And that's a whole other story in itself as well. Where I live, I'm about like 30 minutes away from the Chicagoland area. And, you know, I went back home, and, you know, lashing was like just starting to boom. So you have lash technicians popping out left and right. And now I have to build a whole new clientele on top of being in nursing school. And nursing school is a very, very demanding atmosphere. I really didn't even have the time to work on my business as much as I did back at my old university. I was a full-time student, but on the weekends, I really needed to be studying because those tests were no joke at all. None. And not to mention, it was expensive, or at least the school that I went to. The school I went to was very, very expensive. It was a private school. Ooh, excuse me. They was about that money. Yeah, so I had to get a job. Thankfully, I got a very great job offer in the medical field that came with amazing benefits, like amazing benefits. But I had to take off of school. It was only a full-time position, and I was in school full-time. So I had to have some serious foresight and understand that in order for me to fund school, I would have to take this job and stay past the probationary period so that they could end up funding my schooling for me. Now, fast forward a few months into working that job, I soon realized that I hated that job so much. I quickly realized that I did not like dealing with blood and bodily fluids of other people. And honestly, like, very great job and benefits, like I said, but the atmosphere was terrible. It was so much drama at that job. I was miserable at that job. I really was. It gave me a different look into the medical field because I quickly realized, like I said, that wasn't what I wanted to be involved in. I did not want to have to like just do the things that job had me doing, honestly. That job came to an end, which is also another story for another day. Now, I no longer had that job and I wasn't in school. And honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't have any intentions on going back, especially after what I experienced at that job. Sorry y'all, camera cut off. But where were we? So yeah, major plot twist in my life, but thankfully I still had lashing to fall back on. Eventually I got another great job offer. Like the universe is on my side, and I cannot deny that for sure. But I hated this job too. I really did. And I was just like, I didn't hate it as much as the job I was working before in the medical field. I didn't hate it as much as that one at all. I could tolerate this one way more. But you know, I wasn't happy there, and like it wasn't it for me. I actually ended up getting laid off, and I was just like in a really big funk because I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm running in circles. Like I don't know what's going on. Like I feel like I was like losing control of my direction in life, honestly. And then one day I just had an epiphany, and I was just like, why don't I just devote my time to my business? Because like even after I got laid off from that job, I still had lashing to fall back on. Through all these transitions, all these jobs, I was still continuing to lash when I could. Lashing was just always there. And yeah, so when I had that epiphany, I'm just like, you know, why don't I just devote myself to my business and really see how far I could take it? Pursue entrepreneurship, being a girl boss, and really like, you know, devoting myself to that. Just like this voice in my head that was like, Janae, take your business to the next level. So I did it. But this time I had to move differently. I decided that if I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna do this the right way, for real. No shortcuts, no half done anything. I'm gonna really go through with it. So I researched esthetician school so that I can go ahead and be a licensed esthetician so that I can broaden my scope of practice, like reach a wider group of people. Fast forward to now, I am in esthetician school. I've been in esthetician school since July, and I am loving it. I'm enjoying it so much. I really feel at home in this field. I'm in the process of rebranding my business. I'm focused, learning so much, and I'm in this for the long run. My school focuses on medical aesthetics, and it's super crazy because I can now tolerate blood and bodily fluids because it involves my passion. Like when I'm dealing with blood and bodily fluids, it's because it's beauty related, you know, like it's not because it's like necessarily related to what I was dealing with before. It's crazy how like you could think that something isn't for you or that you don't like something when it's not that you don't like it, it's just that you're not doing exactly what you want to do with it, if that makes sense. I almost gave up on that school stuff, y'all. I did. I almost gave up on it because I was just but I'm no quitter. So I'm on my last leg of financial aid. I can't say that, but I bet it up on my passion. And because of that, I know I'm gonna see my goal through. I know I am. So yes, that's pretty much the gist of my story time. I was kind of debating on if I even wanted to do this video because I feel like my journey is still being written. Like I'm still in the works of everything. Usually when you tell like a story like this, it's kind of like literally after everything is all finished. But you know, I thought about it and I'm like, the good thing about it is that I can share my journey with y'all and like we can literally grow together. A few encouraging words that I want to leave y'all with: always do what you want to do, what makes you happy. Not doing something because family told you to do it, not doing it because you see your friend doing it, now you want to do it because you see her doing it, not doing it because of any other reason than you wanting to do it. Promise you, you will reach your goal and your finish line way smoother, way quicker than what anybody else can say for you. Also, go all out for your goals. Like if you have a dream, do it. Dream big. If you want to spend $5,000 on your brand, go and spend that $5,000. If you want to spend $50 on your brand, go and spend $50. If you don't want to spend any on your brand and somehow it just works like that, then do that too. But do it. Do something and act on it. Otherwise, you don't want it for real. Yeah, I said it. I said it. Or at least that's what was told to me. With business, it comes a lot of setbacks. It's not like just a straight road. Sometimes it's like, and then you get there. You know, like clearly from my story, I've had a lot of setbacks, but it made me into a more strategic person. It made me into a more responsible person. Anyway, let me stop because I know I could go off on a rant. So that pretty much sums up this video. If you are a lash tech, comment below some horror stories that you have, or even share your journey with me and let's chat it up. And if you're an aspiring lash tech, I want to take this time to tell you to go for it. It's an extremely rewarding field and you meet so many cool people along the way. Anyway, that's all that I have for you today. Make sure to check out my esthetician videos and my lash technician videos to see all that I have going on there. I'll be dropping some gems, so go check that out, y'all. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my tribe if you haven't already. Also, turn your post notifications on so that you don't miss a beat, baby. Until then, see you next time. Mwah. Okay.